all just water land. There's a brain that fixed and breaking. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, and cross its way under your skin. Just got found from the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
It is time for the grounds with Giles and Jones.
Yeah, I love it.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
Good morning, Pete. How are you, man? Good Friday to us all. Well, not literally
awesome.
Good Friday, but it is a good Friday.
And of course, this is brought to us today by Reese's Barkery and Pautique. It's an independent family-owned pet food and supply store that is open 7 days a week. Because why? Because your pets have to eat every day, dang it. It's how that works. You want them... Yeah, you got to feed those pets. Come on by to Reese's. They're at 1313 North Riverside Drive, McHenry, Illinois, 60050. And give them a call. See what's on their shelf, 815-363-7297. Or visit them online, reesesbarkery.com. And once again, gentlemen,
good morning.
Good morning.
Let's not forget the Grounds is the most unique show that 2169 has. Matter of fact, you can click the link and join in.
Yeah,
come on in, be part of the show.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any other shows actually that have the same type of format that we do. And
you're not just a caller.
Yeah.
You can be on our show.
You can stick your face online if you want.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you on. I mean, we don't judge. I mean, look at Kent and I. I mean, we definitely can't judge other people by the looks of us, right?
That's it.
But we keep moving. We keep going.
Yeah.
That was a white high five.
You
got to be careful how that adjective is trying to describe who got it.
That's right. That was a non-birthing unit high five.
Non-birthing.
All right. Never mind. Have a good week.
I had a great week. It was a busy, hurried week.
Yeah.
Not hurried, but hurried, frantic somewhat, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on in the Giles family business world. And
well, speaking of Reese's, a big ribbon cutting coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah, coming up this Tuesday, which is the 15th. We're having our ribbon cutting only, 7, 8, 9, 10 months after we actually took it over. But, you know, we had to get it dialed in, redone. So come on out at, It's 11:45.
11:45.
On Tuesday the 15th.
Bring your pets.
At Reese's Barkery and Pautique at 1313 North Riverside Drive in McHenry. Yeah, bring your pets and bring your dogs too. But if you're going to bring your husband, if he's your pet. But, bring your dogs, your cats. If you got a cat that likes to venture outside the house, but we'd love to have you down, kind of celebrate, all of our hard work in the last few months, getting the place up and redone. Grand reopening, right? Because we have the company's been there a while, and as a lot of us know, or a lot of you know, that we took it over and have revamped it and making it bigger, better, faster, stronger to feed our loved furry animals, or our fur babies, as we like to call them. So
that's great. Yeah.
But it's been a busy week. How about you?
Yeah, it's yesterday seemed like a Friday for some reason.
Yeah,
all day.
So you were ready to go out and drink and let some steam out?
This dog don't hunt anymore.
This dog don't hunt no more?
That's right.
Okay.
It just was a crazy day, and just seemed like a time to hang out. Hey, Tim Santos, good morning.
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Join the link. Jump on in, because we're talking about today the American Dream.
Yeah, we're going to talk today about the American Dream. Yeah.
Not Dusty Rhodes either, brother. Big wrestling fan, the American Dream.
Is that? Yeah, see, I'm not a wrestling guy, so I would not know what that is.
We should do a wrestling show.
Maybe we could. We can get a wrestler in here, but so today I kind of want to just kind of start out.
We could just watch the two of you wrestle if you want to do a wrestling show. That'd probably fill more seats.
You want to talk about a bad TikTok?
Yeah, bad TikTok video. Holy cow! I'm not going to get into that one, but.
Hey, there we got Gary in Singapore. We got Mr. Don.
So the American
Stevenson.
Dream. So we were talking about this in the green room.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody knows that the panel here in studio is 100% entrepreneur.
Correct. Yep. All three of us here. That's our main gig, right?
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, we said, the American Dream, when people were coming to the United States, in the early 1900s and whatnot, to Ellis Island and doing all that, the American dream was you could cut your own path. You could, be free to choose whatever you wanted to do, own your own business, and make your own living.
Right.
And now, I guess the question would be, what is the American dream to many people? But you were talking about a book that you had.
It's kind of I guess fired me up and made me do some more thinking. We had a lunch and learn was Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. God, the day's going, weeks going by so fast. We had a really nice lady by the name of Lynn Gale. She's a health coach. You can look her up. I believe she does have online Facebook. But anyway, she was going over a book that she just found, which I had read a couple of years ago, which just absolutely hit me deep down and has helped guide me.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that will guide a lot of other people. It's called The Entrepreneur's Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. So, Darren, if you want to send us a couple of bucks for that advertisement.
A little plug.
Yeah, a little plug there. But it's a great book, guys. Definitely recommend reading it, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, just a person, a human being that's trying to make their way in life in the pursuit of the American,
Darren
in
Hardy,
quotes,
another great thought guy.
Very good thought guy.
Old professional football player. A lot of people don't know that he was.
Hardy was his dad was a coach. His dad was a great coach. Yeah, his dad was a coach, and he was born and raised, by a dad. He did play some. He did play some, but he wasn't fantastic.
Yeah.
But, I think his dad being a football coach and having, a strict way to live, basically, or, routine has helped kind of guide Darren to become a very successful public speaker and motivational speaker and, basically a coach, life coach, is what I look at it from. But the book that we're going over with, The Entrepreneur's Roller Coaster, kind of brought a bunch of things back to the head to me of why, we're talking about the American dream, right? The American dream for everyone's a little bit different. And please chime in, people, if your dream, and kind of share with us kind of what your American dream and what you think
or
is.
Singaporean
or
dream.
Singaporeans.
Or
Yeah.
Chinese dream.
The human dream. Let's get out of the American dream, right?
Yeah.
So we're not just in the Americas, because we are all over the United States and the world right now. But just, what does that mean to you? I mean, to me personally, the American dream or the person dream is having the ability to choose what I want to do on a day-to-day basis, not being tied down by, a job that is literally a job, which some people will say, as a job is a job, which is a journey of the broke. You're just living broke.
Just over broke,
right?
Yeah.
And what's the dream mean to you? I mean, for me, it's being able to make my own way to, choose what I want to do when I want to do it. If I want to stay in bed this morning because I want to, I can so choose. But I also have to understand that there's repercussions of that. But that's a path that I've chosen. And in this book, The Entrepreneur's Roller Coaster, it explains to you the goods, the bads, the uglies of taking on a different way of pursuing your life and your pursuit of happiness. And in the book, a lot of the things, or a few things that it actually asks you, is, why do you do what you do? Kind of like the book we were talking about with Simon Sinek, the why, what's your why? Why do you go to work every morning? Other than the fact that you need money to put a roof over your head and put food down your throat.
Well, you really don't. You could live off grid, and you go to work because we've chosen to buy into a lifestyle.
Yeah,
right.
Kind of, yeah.
Because if you could, and if I could, I don't know if Pete, but if you or I could, give us a log cabin in the woods and
gone. See you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Peace out. Right.
That's right.
At one point,
some days. I mean, I do need personal interaction, as you know. I love to talk. I love people, but
you can go into the hardware store and get a bear trap or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary's live now. Some days, I do need personal interaction. I love
we got the echo from your
echo.
Hang on. An echo.
Well, Singapore is a long ways away, so it does take a while for us to transmit.
Yeah, that should be better.
Yeah,
there
you
we
go.
Perfect.
So the interesting thing, I think, Scott, right, is a lot of people have become employees. Okay. To you get up, go to work. You need the paycheck. You bought into a lifestyle, and you become an employee. Now, Pete, you're the word sleuth here. Do you know the definition of employ?
To employ, to engage someone for the purpose of producing your goods and or services.
Yeah, no.
What? Go ahead.
I don't
use,
see that one.
It's to use or utilize. It's something to do with
Right.
using or utilize.
To use advantageously.
Yeah, there you go. Use
So
advantageously.
Too much word for me already this morning.
Yeah.
Advantageously.
To make use of. To
Right.
use advantageously. So you're an employer
And an employee
and an employee
of the state.
Right. But the interesting thing is the word employ basically means I'm using you.
Which
Right.
has a negative connotation being used, right?
So, but on the American Dream, or why people came to the New World, it was to cut their own path. That's why we had so many entrepreneurs, so many small businesses.
Well, the whole fabric of the United States and the world is based on the small businessman.
Right.
That has been the paramount way, or the base way that everything started. The big corporations came in because they realized that they could kind of expound upon things, right? And they could use these people as employees to better themselves, right, and make stupid amounts of money. In one way, I applaud them because they saw a niche, right? And they saw a way to do something and to make money, because ultimately, I mean, we all need money. Do we need millions and millions of dollars? No, but we do need money to live. And it is nice when you don't have to worry about that paycheck every day.
Yeah. What would the Singaporean dream be?
Come to America.
Okay. So we are a pretty young country. We only gained independence in 1965. So India, to be truth be told, this little 282 square miles of country that we have, there's literally nothing on it. There's no natural resources. There's nothing. We only have humans. So our main resource is actually human capital. So we depended a lot on investment. So in the early days, I guess when we were independent, the so-called dream was to literally just have try to have better income for our family, because we didn't really have flats in Singapore. We were staying in houses made of wood, made of tree scraps and things like that. So
there you go. Thanks, Gary. Yeah, we were just having a little trouble out hearing you there, bud.
Okay,
that was just on our end.
You're good though.
Right. Okay. So I guess when we were independent, the dream was to literally just try to have enough food on the table for family and things like that. Now then came the period of prosperity and development that we have in the 80s to grow to where we are today. So in the 80s and 90s, we have a funny saying in Singapore that we had a Singapore dream known as the 5 C's. So so the 5 C's. So cash, credit card, condominium, a country club membership, and that was literally the materialist 5 C's dream.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Cash and a credit card.
Cash and a credit
country
card.
Club.
Country
club. A condominium.
That's a lot of America's dream.
That's a hillbilly hat right there.
So,
you ask me, right?
It was in a way inspired by the Americana thing that we see on shows and things that we had it here in Singapore. So that was what everybody aspired to. Now, in the last 15 years, 20 years, when the newer generation came up, things have started to change already. Right now, it's more about inclusivity. Inclusivity in the society is more about making society stable, fair for everybody. So the 5 C's are still there, but they've been diluted to a very, very large extent, a superbly large extent. Perhaps it's for the older generation, but for the new generation, this 5 C's no longer matter anymore. So we are still pretty young, so we don't really have a definite, like what people say, the American dream. That's like a 200-over-year-old American dream motto, but we're still pretty young. So I guess we might have different sort of American dreams, and different sort of dreams that we have now than we had when we were independent.
Yeah.
So
with the way that what you brought up there, kind of brings me back to, you said the 5 C's. All those are really kind of monetary based things, right?
Yes, materialistic.
Cash, credit card,
Materialistic
country
thing, yeah.
club,
Yeah, materialistic.
materialistic, right? So
Yes.
so is that so? I guess you guys aren't that far off from us crazy Americans, and kind of losing sight really of what life is all about. And I mean, I have too. I mean, I'm as guilty as they'll ever come.
All right.
The pursuit of happiness, basically what you just described again, is money, materials.
Mhm.
The reason for that is because
that doesn't make people happy.
okay, I think
it will. They think it. I think a lot of people think that having a bunch of money will make them happy, and
Yeah.
I think to the absolute contrary. Money is not going to bring you happiness. Money's going to buy you crap. Money's going to allow you not to have to do things every day, but it sure as hell ain't going to make you happy, because now you're going to have this thing. Now you're going to want that thing.
Yeah.
Right. And
so this
I mean,
is
I get
pretty
sucked
true.
into that once a day.
Say that.
So-
say that.
We I mean, I guess the 5 C's were earlier. Those 5 C's were important to the large majorities because bear in mind that we came from nothing. As literally an island of nothing. We only had like 2 or 3 farms. We only had like we had nothing. There was no public housing. So that was within a space of from 65 to about 85, within a space of 20 years. Those were achieved very rapidly with only a population of about 3 million people. That's it. There were only 3 million people on this island. That's it. And the majority of the industry that was here was actually manufacturing. So when we were independent, the US of course had a lot of companies that came over here. We had Lockheed manufacturing here. We have Seagate hard disks. We were the main Seagate hard disk manufacturing. We were Lockheed main operations here in Asia. And so it was manufacturing and working. Manufacturing workers were the 90 percentile of the population. So that 5 C's were what I guess easily achievable, and it was something for them to target work to. So hence, yes, it brought a lot of happiness because people finally realized that what they could see in shows and things like that, read about it, they finally got it. You got color TVs, you get cars, and you could afford electrical appliances, things like that. So yeah,
electrical appliances, we have those at Fantasy Factory.
Yeah. so I guess
That's the American dream right there, my friend. Let me tell you.
I guess relatively speaking, it is because of the late period of development that we have, being the fact that we got independence much later, 56 years ago. So I guess that to perhaps is passe to the American side that wow, you guys were talking about these dreams back in 60s. Yeah, we were having it earlier. Yeah, because of our late independence from the British. Yeah. So
well, I think the interesting thing is people all around the world and entrepreneurs, just people in general, have made money the goal, and money's just a tool. That's like a carpenter going, man, I'm gonna work hard so I can get a new hammer. Right?
Money is a tool.
A better hammer might help him do a better job.
Right.
Or faster.
Yeah. More accurate, perhaps.
Lisa, good morning. And Don,
yeah,
I would take
Kentucky,
Tennessee,
go to Paducah,
and or Wisconsin for that Kevin. Thanks. But I think that the American dream was and I think maybe a dream for a lot of the world, free people in the world, are, I want to be able to call my own shots. I want to, like you said, if I want to sleep till 9, I want to sleep till 9 and not get yelled at for it
or fired.
Then I want to get up and do something that I'm passionate about.
Right, and that's right. Yeah, exactly.
And it goes back to that why. Why am I getting up in the morning? Now, I can talk to people about my 9 to 5. Wendy, good morning. Thanks for hanging with us. Is I enjoy my 9 to 5, and it's but I'm in an entrepreneurial role with this small.
I was going to say you're not a typical 9 to 5 because
right.
You're working theoretically 9 to 5, but you're also your own boss. You don't have to be there 9 to 5. You could be as long as you're on a computer you don't have any
Yeah,
typical restrictions,
Correct.
right, of a normal 9 to 5.
correct.
And it sounds like
So-
you enjoy your job.
Yeah. So when
Most people don't.
but when people talk to me, and I talk to them about 21.6 the net, the interesting thing, they go, "Wow, you're so much more passionate about the radio station."
But you can see it in your eyes when
You
you
know.
talk about it, because that's your own baby,
Right.
right? And that's
the passion.
that's the passion, and that's the allure of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What they don't see is when you're not on air, or working with the customer, is what's going on in your head,
Yeah.
right? Going, oh shit, I got to pay the bills, or what are we going to do next? What's our next step? What's our new show? What's going to be up and coming?
What kind of investor can we get to drop $10,000?
You can drop me a line, guys, there at Community Home Inspections at msn.com. And, let me know what you need to do, or come visit us anytime at 216 The Net. We're
Hey,
here
Steph.
actually in the Tunyon building on 31.
Yeah,
What
right.
is the address here?
1400.
1400 State Route
31.
31 in McHenry, guys. You can then stop by any day you want for any of the shows. We'd love to have anybody come in and just be our guest, but that's something that never stops as an entrepreneur, is what you're thinking about next.
Right. But the interesting thing Lisa says is people don't remember the energy involved that is unseen in following your passion. But I think they do, because, I take a look at Scott, and Scott's got 4 or 5 businesses, maybe involved in 6 or 7, as an investor piece. But when you watch the way that he lives his life, and I mean, there are a lot of people who get mad at him, like, "Whoa, what are you doing out in the mountains on a Tuesday?" Well,
Not contactable.
yeah, I mean, he's busted his ass to get there. This,
Right.
This didn't happen overnight, and the American dream, or anybody's dream, whatever your passion may be, it doesn't just pop up like you scratched a lottery ticket.
Oh God, no.
I mean-
these last
Listen.
25 years have been
Listen,
a grind, as my son would put it.
So the original founders and I, there were several times in that first year and a half, that we were going, well, if we're not at this point, we just throw it away. Right. And then when Pete came aboard, we were like, well, let's play around with it. We enjoy it. We love doing it. We wish that, we could do this for a living. It's not to that point, but then all of a sudden, we're rolling in 3.6 million listeners all around the globe.
3.7 now.
3.7.
We're up to 3.7 million
3.7
listeners.
for
Wow.
May.
That's killer.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks everyone
3.7
for
for May.
listening.
And if
You
everyone,
are about the population size of New Zealand.
you can go to PayPal and just donate $1.
Yeah.
And Scott Giles Fund. Forget 216 to Net.
Every listener.
I need to go back to the mountains.
Go
But
to PayPal and donate. What is that? Accounting at 216
That's
the
right.
net.
Yeah.
Kent,
Donate
what
$1.
what you said there strikes home for me, and I love it, but I also hate the comment you made. And the comment was that people get pissed off at me that I'm in the mountains, right?
Yeah.
So for me, well, okay. So what is their definition of happiness, and what?
Yeah.
Being pissed at me because I work 7 days a week for the last 30 plus years nonstop, so I can go to the mountains, or so I can give my kids a better life than what I had. Not that my life was bad, but for them to be mad at me because I'm doing what I want, because that's the path I've chosen, because I wanted to work for myself.
Good luck with that, Lisa.
Right.
But Lisa just says she's going to win the lottery. Don't burst her bubble. But here's the thing:
Money won't buy you happiness.
and I know Gary's
just a new car.
Gary's passionate. He loves taking pictures. He's a great photographer. He does a lot of good work. Follow him on Facebook. But the interesting thing is, when you're an entrepreneur, though, and you run a business, I'm out in the mountains. But guess what? My mind isn't.
My mind is not in the mountains. Yeah,
I'm working all the time. I get away. This will be the 18th year, just in the woods with my buddies. The second weekend of
can't wait that in September. We got to make sure we solidify that.
And I'm unplugged, but my mind isn't. And it's there that some of the best clarity comes.
And that's where and that's where actually figuring out how to, like with Lisa, love Lisa, thank you, where somebody like Lisa as a life coach can actually help you to learn how to unplug and to enjoy that time, and to live in the moment. And that's where the whole not meditation, but living in the moment. The word I'm trying
Zen.
Zen, but it's
present.
Being present, but there's a mindfulness. Being mindful, like where
password
you're at. Right. Password is. I love that show. Password is. That was like,
Password is, and that one goes to Kent for the win.
That's right.
so it's learning how to shut it off.
And here's the interesting thing with Lisa. Money will buy me a nice house, car, and a hot pool guy. She doesn't even have a pool.
Right?
She doesn't. There's no need for the pool. She just wants the hot pool guy.
Hot guy walking around with his thong. Yeah. And if that's what your idea of happiness is, Lisa, that's awesome.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And you go for that. And that's what's beautiful about the American dream, or we say American. I'm just going to keep with the American dream because I'm American. But a personal pursuit of happiness. That's what your definition of happiness may be. Mine is to have, enjoyment with my family and to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and not have someone hold me back. Lisa, you're killing me, girl.
Depends how much you pay. I'd love to do that for you.
I was going to say, Kent can do that. His head will help give you a tan. Reflect the sunlight.
Yeah, I would pass on that job no matter how much it paid.
Good for you, Pete. You're a happily married dude.
Happily married dude, and I burn. I do not glisten.
That's just a ginger.
So. That ginger don't do the sun.
Yeah.
No. But Stephanie says this is part of the reason why I don't post pictures of my last couple trips. I didn't want to hear the whispers. Who cares?
Right. You
earned it.
You did earn it. And actually, when you do that, see, now a lot of people post on Facebook type of thing, like all their pretty pictures or happy moments. If you put also your down days, right, it makes it better. But that just shows that, hey, I work my ass off, and that, I can enjoy the fruits of my labor, right?
Deidre.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that someone other than me gets pissed that he is in the mountains.
Balls.
By the way, guys, that's my wife. She's been with me in the mountains all the time, except skiing in the winter, which is a father-son thing, because she does not like the cold or
I'm
ski.
With you, Deidre. I don't
she
like
wants
the cold
to
either.
sit inside and read a book, and that's her pursuit, and I can't judge that.
And listen, if I didn't invite you into my dream, I don't care what you think or say about me. Right? Mm. Listen, they don't, the people who are getting mad at you, Steph, don't see that you were in tears on the verge of
before you left.
Right before you left, or you were in tears on the verge of closing the business and throwing it all in because you had a bad month or a bad month and a half,
or maybe the fact that you're having major family issues and you're going away just to get away and just to get away from life. I mean, when I'm on vacation or just getting away, you mentioned the clarity, right? That's where I sit back and I go, okay, just like my question is, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Literally, why am I doing this? I mean, obviously we need the money, but for me, and I'm assuming for everybody else that does it, you're trying to get, make things a little bit easier, a little bit better, a little bit happier. I mean, I love to help people. So with me having my businesses and making money, I can help give back to the community, which makes me feel awesome. I mean, that's when I'm the happiest. And if chime in, anyone else. It makes you feel good when you're helping.
Don says
people.
The part you're missing is that the people who are mad at you for living a good life do not think you earned it. They think you took advantage of others. That's warped. Yeah.
No, and I love that thought. And that's the thing. I didn't take advantage of others. I'm taking advantage of the opportunities that our world offers.
Yeah.
Everyone has seen that's Gary hit on earlier about equality, making it equal for everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's where our world is actually failing, right? Because they're trying to put all these different controls in place to make, so you can get what I have and making it easier for them. But we all have the same opportunity out there. It's whether we're willing to work hard and to put in the hard work for it and to do what's necessary. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They just think it's going to come to them
Well,
easy. They don't see us waking up
and
at
that's
5
the
in the
thing.
morning.
We live in an
$50
entire world of opportunity, and it's your choice as to whether or not you want to jump in
Right.
and work or create. You can even create your own opportunities.
Yep.
My oldest son,
You do create your own opportunities, 100%.
yeah, my oldest son just created. He got a big promotion and doing incredibly well. But he literally created the job he now fills because he came up with all the information and started presenting the information, how it impacted the company that he's with, the bottom line, and they said, "Oh, this is important stuff. Let's know this.
Let's make this another part, right?
Another job. Here you go. This is now." So you can recognize and create your own actual opportunity. There's no such. I hate the idea of equity versus equality. All men are created equal. Well, it's a nice sentiment, but the fact is they're not.
Everybody
humans are not created
everybody's
equally. Everybody's different.
Yeah, everyone's hung a little different.
Everybody's a little bit different.
Right. But their opportunities are out there, but where your circumstances could start different.
Circumstance can be different, but it's what you have. You talked about mindfulness. If you have the ability to be mindful and to be aware, some people simply don't. If you've got the ability to be mindful and aware, wonderful. It's up to you to decide what to do with that mindful awareness.
And a lot of people these days don't take that time to actually, take at lunchtime, take a half an hour while you're eating and really sit back and be mindful of your day, or even like in the morning.
When was the last time you read a book?
Right. Exactly.
Seriously, nobody reads books anymore.
I've actually been reading more and more and more lately. I think
it shows.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know what that
I
means.
think I think one of the things that America actually is lacking, and me actually as well, and it's something that I've been trying to teach both myself and my children, which they're going down, and that's part of the reason I brought up the entrepreneur roller coaster, because they're starting they're entrepreneurial spirited life, right? But is planning planning what you're going to do, literally planning your day. If you don't plan your day and you just run around willy-nilly, which I've done for many years, it's worked out well, luckily, but is actually literally planning your day or planning your week, which is huge because a lot of people don't have measurable goals. If nothing else, a goal is to wake up and make your bed.
And if you're
it measurable?
And if you're an employee, you basically, if you're an employee, you're basically given a goal. It's never yours. Like, hey, buddy, you gotta hit this.
And you're okay, and you choose that goal, or your company chooses that goal, and you have to work towards it. So when you're done, it's a measurable thing that you finished, right? Yeah. Most people don't do that. Most people literally just go and wake up every day and do what someone else tells them.
And our good friend of the station here, Tim Santos, says, I love vacation and I love posting pictures and sharing. If you feel it must be nice, yes, it is. Tim says, I work hard and sacrificed and took huge risks to get here.
Yep.
And you can do the same, or you can hate. It's up to you. Yeah, it's a wonderful little.
That's a great statement, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and let me just keep on that same thing. It's like being an entrepreneur is not like being an athlete. You can be gifted. You could be 7 foot. You know what I'm saying? You could be like Shaquille O'Neal, or you could be like Walter Payton, who's fast and strong, or whatever the case may be, or whatever soccer players out there.
Tormented inside, just like everybody else.
But if you have a dream, if you have a passion for something, there are people who've made millions of dollars selling buttons. You know what I mean?
Or pet rocks.
Mm-hmm. Whatever your passion is, you just have to have the guts to go do it. You have to have the guts to go and say, I can make a living out of this. Yeah.
It's
going to be tough.
It can be very scary.
Right.
It can be making that decision to walk away from the security of a weekly paycheck, or
that's insane.
Right.
It's insane in a lot of people's eyes.
But Scott, I don't go and look at Scott and go, my gosh, this guy, he owns 4 or 5 businesses You know, I'm like, man, he is something else, right? I'm like, man, this
you
this
look at
brother's
Scott
busting
and you
his,
go, holy shit, what a go-getter. What an
Right.
awesome dude.
this guy's busting his ass.
I
you know?
mean, and
I don't have an ass, but thank you.
Yeah, that's because you busted it.
Yeah,
Split right down the
it's actually truly difficult for me to wrap my head around people who hate on other people's success.
Yeah.
Because, well, what are you doing? Get off your butt and go do something.
Yeah.
Well, they're waiting for that free
You know,
paycheck.
Well, listen,
It's,
I've got a good friend and a good friend of the station who owns apartment buildings, who has done the right things by saving his money, you know, and now he's able to go out. Doesn't have any kids, and he's able.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me there for
Yeah.
a second.
He's able to go out. He and his wife now are able to go out and enjoy, you know, spend a little money and enjoy some nice vehicles.
And they worked hard
vacations.
for that, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's
you know?
and that is their dream. American, you know,
Yeah.
whatever, Singaporean, Chinese, that's their dream, and they
Right.
made it happen. And who the fuck is anybody to judge or to
Well,
hate on them for wanting to do
let's
what
take-
they do?
Let's take a look at the guy who runs Alibaba or whatever. You know what? The
Alibaba, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
from China, right?
Jack Ma, yes.
Yeah,
Jack
and
Ma.
he's from China. Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
yeah.
So
So,
I mean, he works he works so many jobs, you know, working
Oh, yeah.
KFC, working everything like that.
But he's
But
not
he-
working. So here's
Yeah,
the
but-
thing:
but
if
he-
you love what you do, are you really working?
yeah, I think
No, but you're not. You're not
you're
really
enjoying it.
right. But no, so work. So, and that's where it comes. What would be an adjective that describes? Like people say, "I have to go to work today," right?
Yeah.
You don't have to go to work. If
You
you
get
just
to.
rephrase right, if you rephrase that, that makes your day and your mindset change.
Absolutely.
I get to go to work today. Right? I get you're lucky enough to have a
Yeah.
job, maybe one that you don't particularly love, but you have one that's giving you the lifestyle, at least at this point for this day
Yeah.
and this time. Maybe tomorrow will change, but you get to go to that job
And speaking
to
of that,
pursue
Yeah.
your goal, right? That you should have in place, a plan of
Yeah.
some sort.
And speaking of that, we're always looking for a good mortgage processor and/or mortgage underwriter. So contact me if you know what.
Hey, if you're paying six figures, I'm in.
I know, but seriously,
I'll quit
seriously,
it
folks,
all.
That's not a joke. So, and that's the fallacy. Hey, you know, if you enjoy what you do, you never go to work a day in your life. Bullshit. You work hard. You just like it.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier for you.
Listen, hey, if you really like what you do, you've never had sex a day in your life or with
Right.
your partner.
Right.
No, I've had a lot of it, and I like it.
I enjoy it, and that's why I keep doing it.
I'm still having it,
So
but
here-
I like it.
So here's my son. Actually, love him to death, and I kind of I was hoping he would chime in on us today. Maybe, hopefully, he's listening. But he calls every day a grind.
Yeah.
Which right, but to me, it is a grind. But the way it comes across to me is in a more negative. It is a grind, but it's something you have to do every day. I call it more of a routine. Right? You
Yeah.
got to get up. You got to do it, and whether you like
Yeah.
it or love it. It still is kind of a grind because you have to do it,
Yeah,
right?
brush your
Or
teeth. Yeah.
you should do it, not even have to do it. If you want to achieve the goals or the plan that you have, you need to do these things. And owning your own business, it's not all rainbows and unicorns.
No.
You know,
Well, I mean, and
it can be better.
Well, owning your own
But-
business isn't 9 to 5 either. So I'm jealous.
No,
I'm jealous of the
it's
people who get to
24/7.
punch out at 5 and have a good life.
right,
after
and try to
5.
forget about everything.
Yeah.
But it's 24/7, 365.
yeah, it really is. Tim Santos, again, nobody watches you harder than people who hate on you or your success. I just try to give them a good show, which is
I like that
you
one.
know,
I'm going to have to
that's-
start
that's
doing
good.
that.
That's fun.
I'm going to get rid of my
And-
Yugo and buy myself a Lamborghini.
And there you go. Why not? And Shayna says, why would work be framed as a negative anyway? And good morning.
Morning, Shayna.
And of course, everybody's exchanging the mornings.
Why
here.
would people
Well,
people
here-
be framed as a negative? Because they don't like what they're doing and they don't have a plan.
Yeah.
They don't know why they're going to work other than
Time
to
to
put-
make the donuts.
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't.
Time to make, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's our job as parents to try to find out what is passionate or what
Yeah.
ignites our kids. I mean, that's why some of them play, sports, or piano or karate or jujitsu or whatever. It's trying to find what,
Yeah.
lights that fire in them and trying to push
Well-
them towards that so they don't get sucked into the machine of, I got to go to work today. I got to pay my bills. I got to do this, you know.
Oh, hey,
You want them
listen.
to wake up and be like, oh my God, I get to go kick a ball around the field today and have fun with my friends and then swim,
Yeah.
right?
I
I
mean,
mean,
all three of us have been in situations where we absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
There's been jobs we've done. There's even been businesses that we've tried to start or
well,
whatever.
you guys
We're
with
just like,
businesses, you have that.
Yeah.
You have that. I still have things that I hate,
right.
about my businesses on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But
They're called customers.
yeah,
No,
they're
we love the
not called customers. They're called the government. Every time I got to write them a check, it's the government.
That's right. Big brother.
You know,
Oh, man.
you know that's.
Right.
You
But
know,
I think going back to what Pete said earlier, I think Pete hit one of the nails, which is I think perhaps the current situation that, with reference to the American society, I think the current situation is the difference between equity and equality. So, equity for all should be the correct ideal, but somewhere along the line, equality for all took a different meaning, and it became that, well, if I have that success, if you have that success, I should have that success, because that is the definition of equality. But I think Scott also said it clearly. You have the same chances as everybody else. It's just that perhaps you did not take the chances. So that's equality in chances, but not necessarily the equality in outcome. And I think this is, from what my perspective is, that I think this is the problem now that is happening in society. This utopian vision of equality of both chances and outcomes, and it even is starting to permeate into our local situation also. So I mean, I may not have studied much history, but I remember the last two guys that tried it with equality for outcomes were a couple of guys named Marx and Lenin. So I think it did not go very well in that aspect. Even China itself is moving. It's actually communist by government, but it's actually capitalistic in nature.
Yeah.
And
Hold on. I like what Don says. Don says, I heard a U.S. Olympic wrestler, now coach, speak recently. He says work should be thought of as a reward, not a punishment.
Yeah.
It gives you a different mindset when you get up and go to work. Now, along that, Don, one of my favorite quotes ever in my life, right, and came from Kobe Bryant when he retired to his daughters. And Kobe said, lastly, our daughters, Natalia, Bianca, and Gianna, you guys know that if you do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that. We all know that. But hopefully what you get from tonight is that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway, that is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And if you guys can understand that, what you'll see happen is that you won't accomplish your dreams. Your dreams won't come true. Something greater will. Right?
So I like that. And that's something that a lot of people, and myself included. So, and the reason I bitch and moan and kind of talk about all this stuff is because this is all stuff that hits home for me directly. Yeah. Right. So life is not a destination.
Yeah.
And that's what a vacation is, a destination, right? A place to go is a destination, a journey. And we do have a destination. And our destination for everybody is death. Yeah. Because we're all destined to die. Right. But how we get to that death and what we do before our death is our journey. Yeah. And what we do with that is 100% up to us. I don't care who you are, what you are, where you live, what you do. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Because you make hundreds of decisions every day, some consciously, some unconsciously, that affect your life.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying attention to those and planning in some way, shape, or form, your journey's going to suck straight up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Shayna, it's an
and Shayna says a perfect one here. She just says that half of success is knowing what you don't want. And that's actually part of one of the things that's in the entrepreneur roller coaster by the Darren Hardy, that what started this whole conversation today is, okay, so maybe you don't know what you want. Because I ask my kids that all the time. What do you want? What do you want to do in life? They always say, I don't know. I said, okay, then what don't you want? Right? So if you know what you don't want to be, you can check all those off. So you check off 20 things. There's still 20 things that maybe you do want to be and you haven't figured out yet.
So, Pete, you got the book behind you, but one of the original founders of the station, Ron Hostry,
I did plan that.
Rest in peace. Wrote a book that says, I did not plan that. But his quote in there says, life.
See that, Pete?
It says, one of his quotes is, life is an adventure to be lived, not a problem to be solved.
Right. It says, make life work when plans don't.
Yeah.
So
it's an incredible book.
You can have the best laid plans in the world and understand that just because you have a plan doesn't mean it's going to work. Right. But you plan and you have ideas in mind, but it's going to change, but you're going to have to pivot, but realizing that you're going to come up against those obstacles. And yes, it's a problem, but don't focus on the problem. Focus on what that solution can be, because you're going to have to change things. You're going to get monkey wrenches thrown into your wheel, if you will, while you're going through things.
So I think the people who are unhappy are trying to solve life's issues or life's problems, and it's not a problem to be solved. It's an adventure to be lived. Go out and live it, and
it's a game to be played
and enjoy the adventure.
It's a game.
And then the thing, I think most of them is when they can't get it, then they rather, if they can't solve it and if they can't get what they want, they rather stop you from having it.
Yeah,
which is a problem.
Right. So, and with the big thing, one of the things that people don't realize, and we've talked about before, is life really is a game. Yeah. Right. It is a big game. It's a finite game. We talked about that last time. Infinite and finite games. Well, life is an infinite game that you have to play, and when you're playing, sometimes that last call or that last play that you called didn't work. So what's the word they use when instead we're going to punt, right? We're going to change. We're going to switch up real quickly because I got a monkey wrench thrown on my plan.
Pivot.
Well, there you go. Pivot, not punt. Pivot.
I got to pivot now.
I got to pivot, right? Because
pivot doesn't do a damn thing. You stay in the same spot, and if you pivot,
right?
You just look at it.
You're turning and going trying to go a different direction.
No, you have to pivot. Just gives you a view.
Right.
Pivot is no movement whatsoever other than turning in a circle.
Correct. Okay.
You have one stationary foot.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So I guess Mr. Dictionary reader over there, a pivot.
Yeah. No, and I like.
So
funny.
So then what would it be? A refocus?
If you pivot, well, the refocus is the same thing. You're looking at a different area. You have to take action. You can pivot and step, pivot and step, pivot and step.
Hoarders do a lot of pivoting.
Yeah. Yeah,
they do a lot of jumping too over shit.
Yeah, that's right.
So jump the hurdles right there.
I just absolutely think that life is way too short,
and it's getting shorter
to not chase after something that absolutely makes. Listen, if you're an accountant and you work for an accounting firm and you get up every morning and you absolutely love being that employee and accountant, that is your dream. Live it
and have fun with it.
Get it.
Right. Because tomorrow you might not have it.
The other thing is, don't ever compare yourself to anybody else.
That's the worst thing in the world.
And if you want to fail as an entrepreneur, listen. Hey, I'm going to, Ben Franklin owned a bunch of little, five and dime stores.
Yeah.
Right? And Sam Walton said, you know what? I think. And then somebody, Meyer,
I could do a dime and a quarter store instead.
And then Meyer says, "Hey, why don't we have dog food tires?"
Right. Well, they
and then Jeff Bezos comes along and says, "Man, why the hell do you all want
someone
walking in your store? Right. I'll just send it to you
free, right?" Yeah. Well, they saw someo's idea and plan, and they modified it.
Amen, Lisa. Yeah, I get that.
So and what Kent said though, and I guess that I always say that's a great one, but that actually is a huge one.
Yeah.
So comparison is the thief of all joy. And that, if there is one thing, guys, that I can tell you that has been my biggest issue or my biggest, not a failure, but my
challenge.
My biggest challenge is not to do that. Right. And I know a lot of people look at me and think I've got the world by the balls. Right. But I compare myself all the time. Bigger, better, faster, stronger. Why do they have that? Why don't I? And I'll tell you what, when I stop doing that and stop thinking about or comparing myself to other people, and I just look at what I have and what I'm doing, and that's why I go to the mountains, right? Because I can look at that and go, this is why I do what I do, because when I compare myself to that guy driving down the street in that new Ferrari and going, okay, I can afford that car, but do I want to?
Right.
Right? And then
Well, I go.
Maybe that
poor
guy's-
bastard's got some big payments.
I was gonna say, boy, that poor bastard's got a little wee wee, so he's trying to make up for it. But
Right.
when you compare yourself
Or,
to someone else or what they have,
I look at that and I go, "That's a cool car, but holy crap, it's on the floor. I do not want to."
Oh,
Have you ever
right.
tried to sit in a Ferrari?
Yeah,
I have
no.
absolutely,
Yeah.
sure, and they're tough.
They're not made for robust.
They're not-
They
they're
are
not made for robust
They are not
guys.
at all comfortable
But
whatsoever.
I'll tell you what they are.
Well, for me, for old Uncle Pete, it's a poor car choice.
What they're made for is to just scare the hell out of you, right? And to make you feel good when you stomp.
Adrenaline.
Like when I get in
It'll
my
give you
sports
that
car,
adrenaline
when I
rush.
get in my sports car and
Yeah.
I just lay it out, right? I mean, like 0 to whatever, 0 100
Yeah.
back down. I don't speed, police officers, if you're listening.
That's
but
right.
That
Thank you for your
right, I
service.
am able to afford my sports car because I work my ass off and I go out and that scares me and that resets me. That's that's enjoyable for me to actually send myself into a fear-based fun, just like jumping out of airplanes when we go skydiving.
Well, right, but most people, I could. Oh man, I look at your brand new Ford and I compare, my Dodge minivan to that and go, God,
My Ford ain't new.
I should go out and if he can, it's those kind of comparisons. If I'm looking at the way a business runs, and I may be looking at and comparing my business to that and saying, oh man, maybe they are more efficient in this area. That's a good comparison. But taking a look at your lifestyle and going, listen, here's a crazy thing. Me and my family, my wife, we love doing DIY stuff. We love, so, there's a pile of reclaimed wood. She's going to shoot me a picture of it and go, hey, should I bring this? Yeah, bring that home. We can figure
Hell
something
yeah,
out.
pick
with
that up, throw it in the minivan.
So, while other people will go, hey, here's a gun, here's a this, here's a that,
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not laughing at what Shayna said there, but comparison does drive some people.
Yeah.
It does drive you.
When the comparison I make that drives me is to myself. Where was I
Yesterday?
Where do I want to be tomorrow? How does this compare? Salvador says he feels the same way with his minivan, 0 to 60 in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And Jack, let me tell you what. I turned the air on in my little Nissan Rogue. I'm right there with you, Sal.
What's on the front of your car?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. That's it.
I love Deadpool. People are like, what?
He's got a Deadpool sticker right on the front of his
a
hood
little
or
on the back.
Deadpool sticker right on the front.
and that's
of the
how
nose.
I know Pete's cruising by me.
Yeah. So
I peeped at you last night at the farmer's market.
Oh, is that you?
That was me, yeah.
All right. I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out who that was.
Yeah, the farmer's
But,
market was last night. That was fun.
Yeah.
See,
So
I don't quit working either, guys. We were at the farmer's market all night last night. I didn't get done till 9 o'clock. Woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we were up there selling. So that's my dream.
Lisa says to compare in admiration as an example is not the same as self-shame
Right.
comparison.
Well, just compare this. Scott's got how many businesses?
6.
6. He's 21. Look at him.
Yeah, I'm really 22, but the gray hair and the wrinkles around the eyes is because I spend so much time in the mountains close to the sun.
That's right.
But no, don't give me. Yeah, I mean, everyone thinks just because you own your own place, life's grand, life's easy.
Yeah, it's tough.
Being an entrepreneur is harder than working for somebody else, but
Yeah.
I feel that the payoff is worth it.
When you're a true entrepreneur, though, I take a look at a guy, and I'm going to pick on Tim Santos a little bit. I admire him. I try to pick things up from what he does. I mean, I was having lunch down at Pineapple Express, right?
Smoking some marijuana.
No,
No,
Pineapple
no.
Express is
Expressed
is
Nelson Boreas.
yeah, Nelson.
Owns it.
And you want a great burger? There's one
Where's
called
that?
El Santos. Okay,
Yeah.
now here's this entrepreneur. It's right on Green Street, and the El Santos is a fantastic burger. And I found out why he named this burger for Tim. Tim was the first guy to welcome Nelson to Green Street.
Oh, really?
Tim knows nothing about restaurant. Well, he does know a lot about restauranting because that's in his background. But he tells this guy, and Tim's an insurance guy, right? Says, listen, if you need anything or you need any help, give me a call. And on his first visit. So when Tim's like, man, I would love a burger that, has this, and this, he named it after Tim because of him stepping out like that. So I take a look at this entrepreneur who's busy as heck running his own shop, marketing his own shop, and he still has time to go out and go, listen, you need something? Let me know. I'm 8 doors down, or whatever the case may be. And to me, those are the type of things that I compare to. Say, okay, how can I be that
More like him?
Yeah. How can I? Hey, you give so much back to the community. How can I be more like like Scott? One way is that if the 3.7 million listeners were just send $1 to
Right.
216 and
So
Yeah.
and that's
be able to get a lot back.
that's a big thing, and that's what we
I don't
need a
even
lot
care if
more
it's
of in the world.
Singaporean dollar
Yeah.
or Bitcoin, whatever
Right,
you want
yeah.
to send.
And that's we need more of that in the world, right?
Yeah.
Because
we can always
yeah.
take it down to the currency exchange.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well,
Yeah, right.
and that's like I was just literally saying we were talking to somebody last night at the farmer's market. And people laugh at me, and I think they're really starting to get it. I am the happiest actually when I'm helping people. I've gotten more. I hate to say it this way, but I've gotten more benefit or more happiness, more pleasure, more joy when I help people.
Yeah, that's what Don
Right?
says.
Then because if you're just doing something pure, what is it? Hedonistically, right? Is it
Sure.
just looking
We'll go with
or
that.
selfishly? Only what's me?
Yeah.
You might get what you want, but you end up miserable
Right.
because you're usually going to step on people's toes and not going to get a lot out of it. But when I help people, at the end, I'm not looking for something to come my way, but it always ends up happening that way. Like when I help somebody out, they feel better. They do something, right? They feel better about themselves, which makes me feel better because now they're going to do that for somebody else. The whole pass it on thing.
Yeah. Shayna says, I'm cool with status type things, but I often wonder if the same thing was in the clearance bin at Walmart. Hey, let me tell you something. Or the gold star at Kohl's.
I don't shop. I don't shop, so I don't know.
Well, I went and got like $200 worth of clothes for $9 after my Kohl's.
I go to the Wrangler store. I go to the Wrangler store in Cedar Rapids, Iowa for all my shit.
Always a good one.
$9.99 for a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
And those Wrangler jeans,
I love them.
a long time.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you'll notice when we see if some of the new outfits I got, I look a little cowboy-ish.
A nice little.
I need to ride my horse, but my horse is horsepower. Not a four-legged friend.
And then Lisa says, "Hey Shayna, that's the same way I view dating."
Shayna, the same way you view date. Wait.
Yeah,
Why are you viewing date?
Lisa, you can get it in in the clearance rack.
Oh, you want the discount dating, huh? Well, Shayna, how old are you? I can send you to my son. He's a good person.
Yeah, don't go for the DEA. Go for the how do I serve them, and you will win more often than not.
DEA.
Yeah, I agree. Right.
Don't go. What's the DEA?
Deal, I think he
Deal.
meant. Don't go for the deal. Go for
Oh.
how I serve them.
Oh,
There
I
it
got
is.
you.
Don't
Okay.
go for the deal. Go for how I serve.
It says I cannot.
I thought it meant Drug Enforcement Agency.
Right. That's what I was wondering. Like, what are we doing here?
Whatever Don's into.
Well,
Yeah, there.
So
Go for the
I
deal.
think as we talk about today and the book the Entrepreneur
Roller Coaster by
it's
Darren
really-
Hardy.
it's really your life roller coaster. You don't even have to be an entrepreneur. Just know that
Oh yeah.
you're going to go up and down and life is going to be crazy. But find something that makes you happy,
Right.
and lean into it
Yeah.
with everything you got.
Exactly, because we're all going to have the high highs and the low lows.
Yeah.
The whole idea, really, for me, and I think for everybody else, is trying to just find a medium. If you could just kind of realize that you're going to have the ups, you're going to have the downs, and accept that that's what it is, and you
Right.
can't change it. Just roll with it, literally, as like a roller coaster. Roll with it. Figure out, and that's where having a plan is really important.
Huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
Whether your plan's going
Yeah.
to change.
There are some things you should spend a little bit more money on, depending on where you are. I don't know that I go for the.
for $9 at Lover's Lane.
I don't know that I go for the discount
was,
bin at Lover's Lane.
Yeah.
No, but you could go for the discount bin at Fantasy Factory
it's
at 818
Fantasy
Front
Factory.
Street in McHenry.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there
We do have a discount bin.
That's right.
Really?
Only
What goes in the
slightly used.
What goes in the
No,
discount?
not
bin?
slightly used.
that was where my brain was going. I'm like,
what
what's
goes,
going?
Slightly used but not abused.
what goes in the discount bin is usually color
Thanks,
differences.
Shayna. You too.
Right?
All right. Hey, come back. We've got a good show. We got about 2 minutes as we're wrapping it up.
Right.
We've got a great show coming up, Bridging Civil Tension here at 9. And then Saturday morning is Metaphysical Meandering. Sunday, Lisa will be back live. She's back from her travels. And then following Lisa, Fellowship of Faith's worship hour is right on our heels. So it's pretty cool.
Folks, if there's one thing that I can counsel you, I guess, to do, this week is really sit back and reflect on what is your what brings you happiness. How can you bring more happiness or more joy into your life, and write it down.
Yeah.
Come up with just a simple plan. Of in, let's just say, the next 12 months, I want to, let's just say, make $10,000 more a year. And I know I'm throwing it to money, or how about even just, I want more quality time with my family.
Or pay off so much debt.
Or pay off so much debt. But make a plan. It's going to change, but have a plan to just start guiding you. And then when it doesn't work exactly as you want, I'm going to say pivot, but pivot, figure out why and do something different. Adjust that plan.
Yep.
If you have a plan in place, people, it will work. It's not always going to work out exactly the way it is. Do it. Try reading that book, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. Stop back. Check in with us next week at 216 The Net. A lot of great shows all week long. Folks, I appreciate you checking in with us today. Have a wonderful weekend. Go hug somebody. And if you got the means, buy someone a hash brown at McDonald's. Don't let them know it was you. Makes you feel great. Give back. Pass it on, folks. Love you all.
Another bulletin. That bullshit's transmitting. It's shoved right down your throat.